Dope.
Do you know why you could see a guy with 400,000 followers in my comments threatening me about speaking the truth? Because I'm just like you. I'm a field, okay? I'm a felon. I was a high school dropout. My father was a heroin addict and an alcohol abuser. My mother was a paranoid schizophrenic. I grew up in the ghetto. I committed all of the crimes, the pimp, prostitute, the shootouts, getting shot at, the police, everything. In and out of jail, prison. I got the baby mamas. I paid the child support. I've been kicked out of my kid's life, but still expected to pay. Listen, the whole story of a young black male, a black man in America, I am the living excuse. And I'm supposed to get on here and say, oh man, the white man holding me back. I make $40 an hour. I make six figures. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to get on and say, oh, there's no place for me in America. That's what they want me to hear. That's what they want me to say. Oh man, I'm a black man. The white man holding me down. Let me tell you something. They don't like me getting on this internet and telling you you don't have to be no victim to these liberals who trying to convince you that woe is you. If you need mentorship, DM me. If you need guidance, and I'm not just saying that because I make these Instagrams really for my personal mental health. But if you feel like, yo, I need to just reach out to somebody, just like get some guidance, you can reach out to me. Like I'm a real dude, just like you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even put a little bit of water in my face this morning. I'm just like you, man. Headed out to work, headed out in this cold weather. So understand, when you see these dudes with 400,000 followers, I got like 6,000, trying to throw pebbles down the mountain. You know what that mean? That mean God is working, okay? Because when I make these videos, I'm doing it from a perspective of a calling, not to get clicks and views and likes and follows. Listen, if I could reach one of you little black boys to tell you you don't gotta be no victim, you don't gotta let people to tell. Listen, I'm the living excuse, bro. I am the Thanos of, damn, if this happened to me as a black male, I can't succeed. I'm Thanos of that. That's why God is using me. And that's why these people at the top don't like dudes like me. They need you to be a victim. They need you to blame the white man. I'm telling you, the white man ain't do it. We gotta look in the mirror. That sounds crazy for a brother to say, but remember, I'm from where you from. I got all the same circumstances.
That brother was cooking, man. I
Yes, he
wanted him to
was.
keep talking. He made a great point, and all I want to do is just punctuate one point. You're not a victim, and he has the resume, the victim resume. He's got. I mean, he is trained for the victim Olympics. He chooses not to be a part of it, and that right there, we gotta look at that, man. That was excellent, right on the button, man. That guy was cooking. I'm not gonna say anything more. Shout out to that brother for sure.
Yeah, well, that's why they hate him is because it depends on where you come from too, right? Like the more you can resonate, like the more bad circumstances that you come from, the parents were like this, and I didn't have that much money growing up. I was into, I got the baby mamas, the drugs. He mentioned pimping and prostitution, like all these different things, right? Like a lot of people in the community, can get into all of these different things. So that level of resonation with people and still not going down that same path in the end, that victim mentality, that's what really kills them, because they don't want people to see themselves. You know how people always talking about, oh, I got to see myself. They don't want people to see themselves in somebody who's successful and looking to go in a different direction. They want you to go down this one path. Hey, be the victim, be the Democrat, rely on us, the government, to help you get us more power. That's really what they want. And they can't stand it when somebody's going down a direction that doesn't lend them more power. That's really what kills them.
Listen, he just cooked, and I applaud him, and I love what he said. He said, this is about my calling, and that's what people need to understand. When you step into your calling, what God has called you to do, and get out of what the world tries to tell you, hold on. Like when you do crystal beyond labels, when you go beyond the labels of life and stop walking around like a victim, oh, you will be victorious. And I can understand him, because I used to walk around with that victim mentality, because they taught you. They taught you, it's ingrained in you. But when you move past them labels and all those things, that you should be like this because of this, you should be like, when you get past all that and shake all of that dirt off of you, oh my gosh, nothing is impossible. Period, point blank. Because as long as you keep your eyes on God, you got it. You got it. So I love what he said. I commend him, and I love even more so that he's basically extending a hand to other young men out there, young boys out there, because a
That's
lot
it.
of so it's so heavy in the community, where you have so many people. You ain't gonna make nothing. Come on, join us on the street, join us in the corner, join us in this gang, join us this. So they feel like that's their only option. He said, no, 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 no. I'm extending my hand. Come, I will pull you up out of there. And I appreciate that he's doing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Celeste, what are your thoughts?
I think this is an excellent example of what real leadership looks like. Somebody who can be honest about their past, honest and say the mistakes that they made that put them in the situation they're in, and also equally as honest about what they did to be successful, and then to invite and have an open arm, open door policy to say, hey, you don't have to go down this road. I can show you a better way. I'm just like you. Contact me. And if it's guidance, if it's conversation, that's what leadership looks like. I'm very happy to see specifically, in this case, Black men, but really all men get tired, because see, victimization is effeminate. And men who are willing to be victims are men who are willing to be effeminized. And effeminized men are going to have a very difficult time with authentic leadership. They're definitely going to have a hard time getting me on board. I don't know who you might get,
Right.
but like Lauren Hill said, you might get some, but you just lost one. So that
We running like a Bakari Sellers or something.
yeah, I'm out for sure. But I'm glad to see this. And I have said in the past, all of this foolishness that is going on is only happening because the moment that Black men and white men come together and realize that they both have to come together and lead, because they both have exactly the same issues and exactly the same people are attacking them for exactly the same reasons. When that happens, this is all over. This is all this subjugation, all this dependency, all of this ends as soon as Black men and white men come together. So I'm happy to see it. I'm happy to see it. And I really believe it's going to happen.
I want to focus on the other gentleman that he was talking about, the 100,000 followers that was reaching out and giving him all kinds of grief for having his stance. I noticed something maybe about 2 years ago, however long it was, when I first met Crystal. We were on TikTok. I don't recommend it. And we had both come out and started publicly talking about the election, conservative values, and then Christianity. And you ever notice that when you are on a platform, you're like, oh my gosh, Black power, we're oppressed, white man is bad. You have a lot of people celebrating you. They're like, yeah, and at worst, someone might say, I disagree. But if you come out and say, no, actually, my skin color doesn't hold me back, there is not systematic oppression, I can do whatever I want to do within the realms of the law and my ideally faith, and I'm not going to be held back anymore by a narrative, oh my gosh, they hate you. 400,000 followers. What do you have free time to reach out to one person saying this and start hating on him? So I'm going to do a comparison here, since I went pretty hard on Wise when I came in about his beard. I wanted this is the first thing that came to me, so I wanted to share this. So Wise has almost 600,000 followers. Y'all go ahead and subscribe to him. Let's get to that 600,000. He's got more than this guy who's got 400,000. Now, I've had a few conversations with Brother Wise, and also I'm going to pick on Jay Wick here too, about their platform, about what they do. Not a single time has any of these two gentlemen, my elders, by the way, doing this longer than me, have a platform. Not once have they ever been like, hey, so AT, what's it like being a light-skinned Black man in America? It's never come up. What they asked about is, hey, your character, tell me about you. Hey, tell me about your faith. Tell me about what you've done in this life. What are your dreams, hopes, ambitions? And the best part is 400,000 followers. I don't like what you say. I'm going to attack you. Almost 600,000 followers. How can I help you? You see the difference between these two individuals. I will never say this again because you were in the Navy, but I'd follow Wise if he wanted to run for office. I'd follow Wise if he had a cause that he had to do, because Wise is not going to view me as just another skin color. You see what I'm saying? you restrict yourself whenever you go out and say, and I had the same stuff when I grew up too, right? The world's going to treat you differently because you're black. It's going to be harder for you. You got to work. What is express? You got to work twice as hard to get half the pay. I was raised with all of that. And if you have that mentality going out into the world, then you are your own worst enemy, because no matter what happens when you fail, it's not going to be on you. It's not going to be on your ability to grow. It's not going to be on a shortcoming that you have. It's going to be someone else's fault because they have one of the isms towards you. And I'm so grateful this man came out and called that dude out by name. You have no time to go around. If I could waste my entire life going around arguing with people on TikTok and YouTube who say all kinds of horrible things about Christ, what are you doing with your time when that's what you want to do is spread hate? And do you actually love the black people you say you're a part of when you're tearing them down? That man can't control his skin color. He's been black his entire life. Why are you trying to tear him down instead of uplifting him?
Absolutely. Well, the reason is because the race hustle, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. And when brothers like that come out and speak and say, hey, man, the white man doesn't have their foot on your neck. If you want it, it's out here for you to get. If you're willing to put the work in, and, you know, if you want to start a business, meaning take some risk, put your own money up and take the risk to do it. And then put the time, it's out there for you to get. Those people are enemies to the race grifters. They're enemies to them because they need people. They need a plethora of people to believe that the white man is keeping you down. It's white supremacy holding you back and keeping you from making it, while they're making $200,000-$300,000 a year or more, living in gated communities, and both of their neighbors on their right and left and across the street are probably white people. They will get on the internet because, hey, if you're willing to do this, there is a lot of money. And there's a lot of like, follows, and retweets. You know what I'm saying? If you're willing to get out there and spew this foolishness. And that's why, if you think about it, the Boule crowd, they're upset with those like that think like this. They're upset with us that say, hey, you can get out here and get it just like they've gone out and gotten it. But it keeps them from their bag. You know what I'm saying? That's how they make their money. That's how they make their money. They need a permanent underclass, or they need people that believe that they are the permanent underclass. And in that way, they can dangle that carrot and say, hey, if you vote the Democrats, they're going to give you, you know, everything that you need. They need you in bondage.
That's right.
They need you there. And unfortunately, we have a group of black folks that's willing to continue to peddle this nonsense for $1.
Yeah.
It's sad, man.
Well,
It's sad.
what's funny is I don't know if you guys have been seeing all this talk after Jasmine Crockett got, her butt whooped. Now all of a sudden you got all these black folks like, man, I can't believe the Hispanics betrayed us. And I'm like, fools, I've been saying this for years now. Plenty of people have been saying it way longer than me. Like, we're not all skin folk and kin folk. That doesn't just apply to black folks who are conservative. This is all kinds of people trying to co-opt the black community to basically be on the front line and take all the bullets for all of these different movements that don't have nothing to do with us. Really, like, we have our own community to uplift. And if we got people in office who aren't doing that, and every time we see them keep uplifting the Hispanic community, LGBTQ community, that's pretty much what the Democrat Party has become. Pro illegal immigration, pro LGBTQ. Is certainly not pro black, because they have no motivation to do it if they keep getting voted in no matter what they do. And where is their motivation to do anything for the black folks? So it's just a waste of our people's time utilizing our race trauma against us. That's the whole reason why the channel is named Black Anomaly Rising, is because I'm like, okay, we got to be anomalous. We can't be the same as we have been. Otherwise, we're going to keep getting the same result, which is a couple folks, kind of excelling in the community. But on the whole, it kind of continually perpetuates the same type of narrative, like the same way this guy we just saw, the type of life that he shared. Eventually, he pulled himself out of it, but a lot of people don't. They kind of continue down that same path or work.
Rashad, black folks aren't destitute in America. Most black people are in the middle class. Most. I want to say the number was like 70+% of black folks are in the middle class or higher. You know what I'm saying? So when I hear this narrative that, black folks, we're all just out here broke, busted, and disgusted, it's the furthest thing from the truth. And if you go to places like PG County, you come to places like Atlanta, man, and there's a multitude, Houston, Dallas, you name it, man, black folks are balling, doing very well. I know people in the DC area, around the DC area, and I'm sure Celeste can attest to this, that are making, I'm talking about $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 household incomes and still will claim victimhood. You know what I'm saying? And still will claim, hey man, we're oppressed out here. It's like, man, if $400,000 a year is oppressed, I want some of that. Give me some of that.
Oh,
Seriously.
They're very much like that. And that's individual income. That's not necessarily even household. That can be
it is the
individual.
craziest thing.
No, you're good. Because I wholeheartedly agree with that. A lot of people don't know that fact, right? A lot of people, if you're ignorant, then you're easy to control. Rashad, I wanted to ask you because of your platform. I'll go even farther to say that the Liberal Party is anti-God. I'm more than happy to have that conversation. But I think that if you're a part of the Black community and you want to see the Black community uplifted, you're doing yourself a disservice by allowing this rhetoric to continue. And I think a lot of it has to do with fear. If I go up and say, as a Black man, I'm equal to everybody else in the United States, I do not want preferential treatment. I want to be viewed and valued off of my character. I lose all the preferential scholarships, preferential hiring. All the DAI policies don't matter anymore. And I wanted to ask you, Rashad, because I think that's just more your wheelhouse. Do you think that specifically liberal Black Americans are scared of the actual truth and what it looks like if they lose that preferential treatment?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, some people have admitted it, right? So if your identity is the victim, I mean, I've seen it my entire life, even from some people that aren't Black. If your identity is the victim and you have to change that, then you're effectively changing your identity. For some people, it's almost akin to if you think God is real and then somebody tells you, well, he's not, right? So some people, is that ingrained in their spirit? It's like a spiritual part of them that they have to be the victim. You know, imagine if you realize at a certain point in your life, hey, everything is my fault and none of it's nobody else's. So it's not, it's not God's fault. It's not the white man's fault. It's not my previous partner's fault, my parents. It's all me. Right? People don't want to acknowledge that because then they have to look into the mirror rather than just pointing at everybody else. So yeah, absolutely. That is, I think, somewhere where our people need to absolutely do better because as you can see, I mean, we get attacked for that self-reflection. Right. And especially if we do that self-reflection and we tell others to do it, then they're really having meltdowns about it.
I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. What are your thoughts? Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. Consider joining the ARP family or buy your brother a coffee. That link's in the description box below. Join us Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for ARP in the morning. And as always, keep God first, stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time. Peace.
It is God who arms me with strength. Yeah, I'm battle ready. He trains my hands for battle. My heart stays steady. But thanks be to God, he gives us the victory. Through my Lord Jesus Christ, fear can't live in me. I was down to the dirt, red clay on my shoes, old pain in my shirt, oh so bruised. And the Lord hit my chest, kicked death from my breath, put power in my step.